What's good, YouTube? I'm Robert with the Crosscut Creations channel. Today we're going to make a modified Slimline pen. This will be my first modified Slimline pen that I've done. This first part of the video is me prepping the pen. This goes into everything from measuring the blank, cutting the blank, drilling the blank, gluing up the blank, and then we'll eventually get to turning. I'm not going to put a whole lot of detail in the video because RJBWoodTurner, Bob, he's done a great job with giving detail in a video he did, so I will link that down in the description. The turning portion of this video went very smoothly. The turning portion was very straightforward. It turned like a dream. This is a piece of mahogany I had left over in a scrap pile. I went ahead and sanded the blank up to 400 grit, and then I cleaned it with some denatured alcohol. I'll leave a card to my finishing process After I wiped the denatured alcohol on, I let it spin dry for a little while, and then I apply 7 coats of thin Mercury Flex CA glue. I spray activator in between each coat. After I spray activator on the last layer of CA, I micro mesh from 1500 to 12,000 grit. That's a wet sanding system that really smooths out the CA glue if you have any ridges or anything like that. I dry the blank off, and then I go through the Novus system, Novus 3, 2, and 1. 3 is the heavy scratch remover. I buff it in and then wipe it off. Novus 2 is the exact same. It's a fine scratch remover. I buff that in and then I wipe that off. When we get to Novus 1, that is a polish, so I will spend some time wiping the polish on the blank, and then I dry the blank with a clean blue towel. Here's where the assembly comes in. I'm not going to give a whole lot of detail on this because, again, as I mentioned earlier in the video, Bob over at RJBWoodTurner does an excellent job with that. I will link to his video in the description, like I said earlier. So here's the assembly of this pen. When assembling this pen, you want to make sure that you are very careful, especially with that bare tube. You want to make sure that you're careful not to bend or break anything, so if you're meeting any sort of resistance, you want to make sure that you stop and take your time and reevaluate how you're putting the pen together. Putting the transmission in the back end of the bare tube takes a little bit of time, but it's not too bad. You just want to make sure that you don't go too far. I push the transmission into the back end of the tube. I test the ink to see how far it retracts and extends. Once I finally test it, if it's not far enough out, then I go ahead and push the transmission in a little further until it gets to be that right length. Sometimes this takes 2 or 3 adjustments, but as long as you take your time, it's a pretty easy process. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. This one was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this one. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe. We'll see you next time.